Welcome back, everybody, to the Seattle Sonics, MyNBA franchise here on NBA 2K22. Today we are going to go over the Summer League and pretty much round out the rest of the offseason. In the last episode, we covered free agency, and there was plenty of movement around the NBA. We made our fair share of moves as well, extending Cam Reddish, signing Kevin Porter Jr. and Goga Bitadze, and then extending Jakob Poeltl. So we definitely made some noise in free agency, and there was a lot of movement around the rest of the league as well. So Chris Middleton finds himself in Minnesota, and the Timberwolves appear to be a big threat in the West. The Spirits really improved, adding Tyler Hero, Russell Westbrook, and Dylan Brooks to join the #1 pick, Deo Embiid. And of course, the big signing was Nikola Jokic going to the New York Knicks. We also covered player progression as well. I think the big thing here was our second-round pick, Dikembe Mutombo, going up 4 overall points for literally no reason at all. So that puts us where we are now, into Summer League. I know you guys enjoyed the Summer League last year and you wanted me to bring it back this year. So that is what we are going to do. First things first, we have to build out the roster. Now, as you can see here, it's most of our young players on this team. I'm a little bit surprised Davion Mitchell is here. I don't really think he belongs on the Summer League roster, but everybody else, I would say, probably should. So we do have to sort through the free agency, try to find some players who you might like. I'm not going to look for these higher-rated players. I'd rather find younger guys who could be good fits. We're going to sign Bull to the Summer League team. Obviously, he's been on our roster the past couple of years, so I figured why not bring him back. We're going to sign Greg Brown, who was in our organization at one point. Undrafted rookie Rocky Manuel, who played at Clemson, so he's a former college teammate of KYREL Story. Center Jacob Farnsworth, and power forward Kasim Ely, as we try to add some more size down low. So this is the roster. I don't think we're really going to give Davion Mitchell minutes. I think we sort of know what he is. But other than that, this is what the rotation is going to look like. The starters will be Oscar, Story, Dumas, Mutombo, and Ball. And then pretty much everybody else outside of Davion Mitchell will be getting some minutes off the bench. I also decided to make KYREL Story the #1 scoring option because I just want to see what he can do as the #1 guy. So we're going to simcast the regular season games, and then we're going to play the playoff games, or game, I guess, if we go one and done. So we're going to start with the San Antonio Spurs, the first of 3 regular season games, and we would blow them out of the water, winning this one by 25 points. Dikembe Mutombo leads the way with 20. Oscar also with 18. Chance Dumas had 11. KYREL Story with 10 and 6 on fairly inefficient shooting. We had a lot of guys in the double figures, and overall a well-rounded team effort. So now we had the Golden State Warriors, a pretty close matchup so far, but then the Warriors would pull ahead, and they would end up winning by 5. KYREL Story is the leading scorer with 16 points, inefficient from 3, but was good from the field. And then the rest of the numbers, nobody else really stood out. Chance Dumas did grab 10 boards, but overall not nearly as good of an offensive game as our matchup with the Spurs. And then here against the Sixers, it started off back and forth, but then the Sixers dominated in the second and third quarters, and we had a small little comeback, but to no avail. Story and Springer lead the scoring with 17 apiece, 14 for Arnold and Oscar. So again, another competitive game, but this time it was our defense who ended up losing it for us. So we are 1-2 going into the playoffs. Everybody in the Summer League makes the postseason, and our first matchup will be with the Atlanta Hawks. But before that, I do want to go over the stats for the 3 games. Surprisingly, KYREL Story was not our leading scorer. It was actually Dikembe Mutombo. Story finished close behind, and then we had Oscar, Arnold, and Springer also in the double figures. So as we go into the Summer League playoffs, rather than using the whole team, I like to do player locks for these Summer League games. So I figured for our first matchup, why not player lock our top draft pick, KYREL Story, get a good feel for him, and I think he's going to be a fun player to user the entire game. So let's hop into it and get our first official look of top draft pick, KYREL Story, as he has the ball here guarded by the former Sonic, Ayo Dosunmu. Sets up Dikembe Mutombo for a screen. Nice assist there by Story, who just 30 seconds into the game already has a rebound and an assist. Why not add to the stat sheet? Picking the pocket of Ayo Dosunmu. KYREL Story can do everything. Okay, maybe not everything. The lob for Chance Dumas is unsuccessful, but other than that, it has been a good start for KYREL Story on both ends of the floor as he rips away that one on the fast break. Story with a dart in the corner for Oscar Jabasilan. Story getting his teammates involved early on. He only had 2 assists in the 3 Summer League regular season games. He already has 2 assists here in the playoff game, which is remarkable. Good defense there down low, getting a rebound. Good to see him playing well on that side of the floor, as his first Summer League shot is a 3, won't fall. Story not a great 3-point shooter, but he does know how to get to the basket, and clearly he's a pretty good playmaker as he gets his 3rd assist of the game over to Chance Dumas. So Story is doing everything except for scoring. I'm sure he wants to get on the board. He got that defender leaning. KYREL Story's first points of the day off of a crossover mid-ranger as he tries to set the screen for Mukwala, who's just standing there doing nothing at the top of the key. Heaves up a prayer, no good, but Story grabs the rebound and gets the putback. So Story decided to camp under the basket, wait for Mukwala to shoot the shot, and it worked out. 11-12 your score. Here's Dosunmu, and he hits that one. I know we're player locking Story, but we can't be totally biased here. We have to show a few good plays here for the Hawks. 13-12. Here is Ball. No good, but again, Story camping down low for another putback. Let's hop into the second quarter now. Sonics up by 15 all of a sudden. The bench unit clearly did pretty good as Story grabs his 9th rebound of the game. On the transition fast break, he drives to the basket and is fouled by Jalen Johnson. Now, normally I wouldn't show free throws, but I do want to get a look at his free throw form. He is a pretty solid mid-range shooter, and that was a good-looking shot. As the first one will fall, the second one also falls, and the Sonics up the lead to 17. Another fast break opportunity here for Seattle. Here comes Story, driving to the basket. Oh my God! He just put Jalen Johnson on a casket. Can we look at this one again? The dunk of the year, annihilating Jalen Johnson. My favorite part about this play is Johnson acting over dramatic under the basket, and then his teammate Isaiah Iguodala just kicks him out of the way. That is too funny. That's not the play of the year. That's just the meme of the year as well. Story trying to annihilate Johnson again, and Jalen Johnson's like, no, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Story would get to the line and make both free throws. The Sonics now lead by 24. This game is turning into a blowout as Iguodala has it at the basket. No good. Rebounded by Jones, who posters a couple Sonics defenders, including KYREL Story, getting revenge for Jalen Johnson as Iguodala misses the wide-open 3. It's Summer League. The shooting isn't as good. Oscar misses the full-court shot at the buzzer. But wow, what a first half. KYREL Story has a double-double. He just grabbed his 10th rebound on that last play. And he has one murder victim, Jalen Johnson, as everybody is meeting up at midcourt. I don't know if there's like a brawl or something. What the hell's going on? So on to the third quarter now. Story with 12 and 10 with another nice slam. He had quite a few highlight dunks in his freshman season at Clemson, and he's already had multiple today. As he gets it to Mukwala. No good, but grabs another offensive rebound for the putback. 16-11, now 16-12, and 6 for KYREL Story, doing everything. Seattle up big. Story off the screen, hits the 3. It took a little while for him to get his first 3-point make of the day, but it falls. Nate Hinton attempts the 3 in the corner. He is smothered by KYREL Story. Not the only Atlanta Hawk to get smothered by Story today, as that ends the third quarter. Seattle up big. We're going to go in the fourth quarter, mainly focusing on pretty much our team's highlights for the rest of this game because it doesn't look overly competitive. Story caught sleeping there on defense. We're going to talk about the highlights, but we're also going to talk about the lowlights. Not great on-ball defense here by Story, but he's going to try to make up for it on offense. Missing the layup, but grabs the putback and throws it down. Story now with 21 points and 14 rebounds as the Sonics lead by 15. Dosunmu blocked! What a play by KYREL Story with the denial. Seattle on the fast break. Here's Springer, lobs it up! KYREL Story with another slam, the one-handed jam up to 23 points on the day. Make it 25 as he hits the contested layup despite some great defense by Ayo Dosunmu. Story continued trying to get his teammates some more opportunities as the rookie Chance Dumas gets the and one. Seattle back up by more than 20. Not a lot of time left. Story doing one more slam because why not? A reverse two-handed jam, that's all she wrote. 90 to 111 is your final. What a fun game of basketball. KYREL Story is going to be a really fun player. So pretty much whenever he's on the floor, I advise you guys to get your popcorn ready because there's going to be some highlight plays. But he didn't even lead the team in scoring. Dikembe Mutombo with 28. Story finished with 27 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, 11 of 14 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, 5 offensive rebounds, and the 1-2 that he missed, he got a putback right after it. So overall, a really good performance there from KYREL Story. And I would have done a player lock for a different player going forward, but I just had way too much fun in this game with KYREL Story, and I think you guys probably want to see some more. So we're just going to player lock with KYREL Story for the rest of Summer League. I know we want to get a feel for our other rookies, Chance Dumas and Dikembe Mutombo, but KYREL Story is just too much fun as we go into this game against the Mavericks. A quick layup to open things up by Story to open up the scoring. He already has 2 rebounds. I don't know if he's going to get as many as he did last game, but we'll see as he blocks that shot. On the fast break, Dumas with a great pass and the reverse lay-in for Oscar Jabasilan. 5-6. There's a nice cross-court pass. No good. KYREL Story cherry picking. What a pass down court. Story tries to get it to ball. It's not going to be an assist because of the tip pass, but can we look at that replay again? That was Dikembe Mutombo looking like Patrick Mahomes on that throw. Holy cow. 8-5 now. Here comes Story with the spin move. Story with the slam! A windmill 180 for KYREL Story. I'm going to assume he's probably going to be in the dunk contest next year of some of these slams. Story now hits the 3 in isolation, up to 9. Here in the first quarter off of the jab step three-pointer, 11-15. Story double-teamed, has a wide-open Oscar Jabasilan, and that'll be KYREL Story's first assist of the game. Arnold gets it to Story down low, trying to post down on the smaller defender, but he's double-teamed, leaving Oscar wide open again. And Seattle is really extending this lead early. Here's Ben Corte going to the rim, and Story blocks the shooter. Great defense by the Sonics. Story on the fast break. Back to Oscar. Another one. Third time's the charm. Story and Oscar Jabasilan are building up a great chemistry right now. Jabasilan lobs it for KYREL Story. These two are unbelievable right now. Into the second quarter, the Sonics lead by 21. KYREL Story has struggled so far in the second quarter. He's been in the game about 2 or 3 minutes. And, well, considering we haven't shown any plays, that should kind of tell you what the deal is. And Dallas brings it within 20. Wow, comeback time, am I right? Story, as you can see, is ice cold. He hasn't been shooting the ball well. He's had a couple turnovers here in the second quarter. Oscar is still shooting the rock very nicely. He's having himself quite the game. 37-58, winding moments of the quarter. Story trying to get a last-second bucket. Would be his first points of the second quarter, but it does not fall. And these shots are just not going in for KYREL Story in the second quarter after he was making pretty much everything in the first quarter. But nonetheless, the Sonics lead by 21. They're in a pretty good spot here going into the third quarter against a pretty bad Dallas Mavericks team. And when I looked at their Summer League roster, well, it's not very good. Story's struggles continue. He opens up the third quarter with a charge, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better here for KYREL Story in this ball game, making the mistakes that a typical 19-year-old rookie would make. But what in doubt, just give it to your buddy Oscar. All 4 of KYREL Story's assists have been off of Oscar Jabasilan three-pointers. Wild. Gregory from deep. KYREL Story tried to get away from the screen, but wasn't successful. Story's on-ball defense has been a little shaky so far, but he hasn't been awful on defense as he sets a nice pick for Oscar Jabasilan. Get yourself a friend like KYREL Story caring for Oscar. This is something you love to see. Story blocks that shot as it deflects off the backboard on the fast break. Story tries to keep it himself in the corner for Oscar, who doesn't shoot it. I don't know why he didn't let it fly. But later on the very same possession, Oscar Jabasilan would make up for his mistake, hitting another 3. Unfortunately not assisted by KYREL Story, but nonetheless, the Sonics now have 69 points. As good defense there by KYREL Story on the fast break. Oscar in the corner for Story, open 3 in transition. And he just cannot make a shot right now. Story, I think, is like 0 for 8 since the first quarter. I mean, his shooting has just not been good in this game. Story grabs another rebound, and he connects with his former college teammate, Rocky Manuel. for 3. Even if Story can't shoot the ball, he can still pass the ball and do other things. As there's a nice block by Story. Transition opportunity. Story, wide open 3. Bricks it. I mean, this is just hard to watch. He can't hit the side of the barn right now. And then on the other end, Holland hits a 3 for Dallas. That wasn't bad defense by Story, just a really nice shot. An inbound here. KYREL Story creates room and finally makes a shot. It took a while. KYREL Story is really good there on inbounds, creating his own shot, showing it there. And that's pretty much how the rest of the game would go. We don't really need to go through much of the fourth quarter. 106-71. A dominant victory here for our Seattle Sonics, demolishing the Dallas Mavericks. Oscar Jabasilan was a beast. He had 24 points. Jim Arnold apparently had 19 and 7 in 4 minutes. I don't think that's right. KYREL Story with 13 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 blocks, albeit on pretty inefficient shooting. He had the lowest plus-minus of anybody who played more than 1 minute, so not a great game, but even when he couldn't shoot the ball, he did a lot of things well, so overall not an awful performance. We're now in the Elite 8. I know it's not college basketball, but we're just going to call it the Elite 8 against the Memphis Grizzlies. Story with an early offensive rebound. Did not get many offensive boards in the second game against Dallas, unlike the matchup against Atlanta, as Marco Tessitore, no good from deep. KYREL Story on the fast break, driving to the bucket! What a slam by KYREL Story. Some of these dunks are very replay worthy, but he's just had so many of them, there's not really a point unless it's like annihilating someone like he did with Jalen Johnson earlier. Nice move there by KYREL Story to make the mid-ranger. It seems like Story's shooting is back after just deciding not to work in the Dallas game. 11-5 is your score. Story gets blown by Tessitore for the slam. Not great defense there from KYREL Story as he blocks Jeffries at the rim, and that deflected off of Jeffries' chest. A great play by Story, who's blocked quite a few shots here in the Summer League, which makes sense considering he is 6'10", and most of his matchups are way smaller than 6'10", as he gets a nice crossover, step back, mid-ranger from the top of the key. Now, the Sonics had a nice lead here in the first quarter, but that has evaporated. The backups aren't doing too well, but KYREL Story here is doing well as he hits another jab step three-pointer, 36-29. Good defense by Story down low, but Jeffries gets the rebound, but he's blocked by Story. KYREL Story has a fly swatter out here. I mean, he's got some really long arms, and he's showing them in this ballgame. Story double team connects with Jim Arnold for 3. And ever since KYREL Story's checked back into the game, the Sonics have gotten back to a nice lead as that pass is tipped and ripped away by Story. Another fast break opportunity in the corner for Oscar Jabasilan. And the chemistry between these two continues to just flourish. These two go together like peas in a pod. Ball now with an awesome block. Another fast break opportunity. Story inside for a cutting Jim Arnold, who makes the layup, and Seattle continues to extend the lead. This team has been noticeably better with KYREL Story in the game, which is great to see. Winding moments of the quarter. Story has it. Wide open 3. Bang! 14 points in the first half for KYREL Story, who already has more points than he did in the entire Dallas game. Final seconds of the first half. Marco Tessitore's three-pointer is short. And I don't know why the cutscene for halftime is everybody going to mid-court, but whatever. Another nice lead here for Seattle, who continues to play really well throughout the Summer League tournament. And keep in mind, they are one game away from the semifinals, and then another game away from the championship. Nice slam there early in the third quarter by Tessitore. Want to see it do it again? Not happening. Great defense from KYREL Story and Bol. On the fast break, Story trying to drive to the basket, makes a nice crossover, hits the mid-ranger, and the Sonics up the lead to 15. Now up to 13 as Isaac Bonga, no good from deep. Nice defense by Chance Dumas. I have the feeling I'm going to say those words a lot this year. And then Story breaks the defender's ankles. A crossover from KYREL Story. Can we look at that again? He made him fall to the floor, swishing the long 2. And Seattle now leads by 16 points. Here is Oscar. Tries to lob it for Story, who is unable to get the dunk, but he's going to settle for the layup inside the paint. Not as cool as an alley-oop, but it'll do the job. As we're now in the fourth quarter, Sonic still up big. A great screen there from Story to let Dikembe Mukuamu drive in for the slam. 87-71. Oscar down low, trying to post up. Gets it to Lucky Manuel. The undrafted rookie continues to impress me, in my opinion. And obviously having someone who KYREL Story already has chemistry with and is already friends with certainly won't hurt. Oscar with a great move and the slam. Seattle continuing to win this game in blowout fashion. And if this holds up, which with another slam from Story, it looks like it will, all 3 playoff wins so far will be in blowout fashion. Step back there from Oscar, no good, but KYREL Story grabs the rebound, his 10th, makes the hook shot. Another double-double for KYREL Story, who finishes this game with 26 and 10, rebounding after a fairly shaky game against Dallas. And a good win here, 100-82 is your final. Another big win here for the Sonics, as Story finally leads the team in scoring with a high plus-minus of 21, one of the highest marks on the team. Oscar with 21 points. The only other player in the double figures was Kasim Ely with 10. So here in the semifinals, we're taking on the Rockets. This is one of the teams who passed up on KYREL Story in the draft. And keep in mind, they drafted another shooting guard in Desmond Donovan ahead of him, who will be KYREL Story's main matchup, as Desmond Donovan rips it away from Story. Not really a great start for KYREL Story if he wants to prove he's better. And then Donovan would get a great assist to the Rockets' other first-round rookie, Arroyo Laponte, for 3. Story with a slam! Posterizing Alperen Şengün. So I guess he kind of gets revenge because that was poor defense by Desmond Donovan. Donovan guarding him again, and KYREL Story makes the most of it. That jab step three-pointer has really worked well for KYREL Story. That's quickly becoming a signature shot. Step back. No good, but nobody's there to grab the rebound, so Story will instead. Still guarded by Donovan. He's going to go for the fadeaway. Bang! 7 early points here for KYREL Story. The Sonics are looking great here, and keep in mind, if they win this game, they'll go to the Summer League Championship. Story from downtown. Yes, that one's going to rattle in. KYREL Story up to 9 points on the day. That was actually a long 2, not a 3, by the way. Story guarded by Donovan, trying to get a last-second shot off. Passes it in the corner for Oscar, who makes the 3. That was really not a good decision by KYREL, but I guess it kind of worked out, as Story grabs for rebound after the toilet roll shot does not fall. Sonics with some great passing as Bol gets the and one over Şengün. You may notice this game is quite a bit closer. Again, the bench has kind of blown it since Story was out of the game, as Story gets another slam. He's going to have so many of these in the regular season. I mean, it's going to be so fun having him on the main roster. Story goes up for the lob. Unsuccessful. He was hanging on the rim there for a while. I thought Bol was going to shoot it when Story was still up there. 47-36. Again, the team is playing noticeably better with KYREL Story on the floor, as Desmond Donovan posters Rocky Manuel. Although KYREL Story's having a great game, so is Desmond Donovan, who now gets off the screen for 3. Donovan makes the open 3, and there are a lot of guys here in Summer League who have missed their open shots, but Desmond Donovan's an NBA player. He's not going to miss those shots, and neither is KYREL Story, who makes another jab step three-pointer, and he's up to 14 on the day. 52-47, winding moments at the half. Donovan again connects, and the Rockets bring it within 2. The Sonics have kind of choked again. Story trying to get a last-second shot, gets it over to Greg Brown, who misses the 3. And through one half, based on this early comeback by the Rockets, it's clear that their team is better than Atlanta, Dallas, and Memphis, and this is going to be a dogfight. Story crosses up Desmond Donovan and misses the shot. I mean, come on, you can't cross up the guy who is picked right ahead of you, who plays at the same position, and proceed to miss the shot. If he had made that, this arena would have gone rightfully nuts. The Rockets, as you can see, lead by 4. We're already at the end of the third quarter. KYREL Story really didn't play much in the third quarter, hence why we are losing. So now in the fourth quarter, I imagine Story's going to play pretty much the entire quarter because he was barely in. And immediately he starts off with a deep 3. That's one way to get things going. That was Curry range, and he still nailed it. 77-80. Manuel over to Story, drives by Simons, and KYREL Story is a human highlight reel. Another slam for him. 79-81. Story guarded by Donovan. Down low, over to Mukwamu, who heaves it up at the buzzer! What a shot by Dikembe Mukwamu to put the Sonics up. Now it's 84-83. Story going to do another jab step 3. He just cannot miss that shot. He is shooting the ball so well from 3 today, and there's really not anything that Desmond Donovan can do about it. Donovan looking to find somebody. He's going to get it to Chidubem Ihereruika, another one of Houston's recent high draft picks who makes the three. Ihereruika leads all Summer League players in points per game throughout the Summer League. Donovan at the rim, he's blocked! What a denial by KYREL Story doing the Gator chomp. I mean, he didn't go to Florida, but who cares? 93-94, not a lot of time left. A huge offensive rebound there by the Rockets. And then Desmond Donovan with the move. Donovan posters Chance Dumas. Poor defense here by KYREL Story, and that leads to his teammate getting dunked on. 3-point lead here for the Rockets. Story guarded by Kevin Knox for three. Ties it up. Again, the jab step three continues to work like a masterpiece. 96-96, stolen by Bol. On the fast break. Bol to Story, fadeaway for the lead. Clutch shooting from KYREL Story, who now is 27. As Simons is blocked at the rim. Gets it back, no good. But look at Story cherry picking. Donovan hits the three for the lead. I will point out, I don't blame KYREL Story for expecting the Sonics big men to get offensive rebounds over Anthony Simons. I don't think that's too much of an ask, but you can't cherry pick with 30 seconds to go. Story misses the three for the lead, and now it's time to play the foul game. And that decision to leave Desmond Donovan wide open could cost Seattle the game. After a pair of free throws, it's a 3-point game. Story, step back on Donovan. Probably should have shot it earlier at the buzzer. No good, and the ball game is over. And unfortunately, the Seattle Sonics have been eliminated. The Houston Rockets are going to the Summer League Championship game as they beat Seattle by 3. And even though KYREL Story kind of choked them the game, missing a pair of shots with under 30 seconds to go, and obviously that bad defense right at the end, he was still outstanding. Now, you could argue Desmond Donovan was better. Donovan had 30 points, and KYREL Story had 27, along with 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Story shot 10 threes in this game. He hasn't really shot the three a lot in the Summer League, but he did today, and it worked. The rest of the team was solid, but really outside of that first quarter, the Rockets continued to come back, and in that fourth quarter, we were unable to hold on. So here's a final look at the stats through the regular season and postseason games. Story leads the way with 19.5 points per game. Oscar, Mukwamu, and Arnold also finish in the double figures. We're going to briefly cover the Summer League Championship game, which unfortunately we are not in. The Houston Rockets are facing off against the Portland Trail Blazers, who of course have been building up a solid core since the Damian Lillard trade, and the Blazers would end up winning. 19 points from the Summer League MVP, Fred Flame, who led Portland in scoring throughout the Summer League. Chidubem Ihereruika had 25 for the Rockets, but it was not enough. So as we now advance towards the regular season, there are a couple small roster moves I would like to make before we get into season number 3. We need to clear up a roster spot, and we're very crowded at guard, so I'm willing to trade away Jim Arnold, our second rounder a couple years ago, to the Clippers for 2 second-round picks. I think this is better for Arnold. He might get some playing time. He was pretty good in the Summer League, in my opinion, but I just don't really think we have a spot for him. We don't have any second-round picks currently, so getting those 2 is very nice. I've also decided to cut Udoka Azubuike, and as a Kansas fan, this hurts, but we already have 2 centers I like, and Azubuike doesn't really provide a value, particularly on offense. So replacing him will be Bol. I do want to bring Bol back. I'm not sure how often he's going to play early in the year with Jakob Poeltl and Goga Bitadze, but if one of those players struggles, Bol will definitely be getting minutes. And even if those guys do play well, Bol will certainly get an opportunity. I also kind of want to have Rocky Manuel in the organization. I thought he was pretty good in the Summer League, so look out for us to offer him a 2-way contract at the beginning of the season. The All-Star Game this year will be in the Mecca of basketball at the Madison Square Garden in New York. That's going to be a lot of fun. For the draft class, I haven't started making it, so I'm not going to download it yet because I don't have it. And now we have made it to the regular season. Our opening game is against the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's a fun matchup because they're obviously a good team. So I went to offer Rocky Manuel a 2-way contract, and he does not want it. Now, this doesn't make sense. What undrafted rookie would prefer to be in free agency than take a 2-way deal? So I'm probably going to try to edit Rocky's ratings so they go down so he takes the contract. I know that's technically cheating, but it makes sense. Why would he not want the 2-way deal rather than sitting in free agency? That doesn't really make sense. Let's take a look at the opening day lineup. Now, keep in mind all of this is subject to change throughout the season, but this is what we're going to rock with for our first game. I really like the 1 through the 4 in the starting lineup with Oscar, Story, Reddish, and Buzz. We're going to have an open competition for center. For now, I'm going to start Goga Bitadze, but we're going to give Jakob Poeltl and Bol opportunities to have that role. And then the bench is in a weird spot because our top 4 bench players are all guards. Jordan Poole, Davion Mitchell, Kevin Porter Jr., and RJ Hampton. Now, we do not need all 4 of these guards, so I think we're going to make a move early in the season. Since we just signed Kevin Porter Jr., I wouldn't plan on trading him. So that leaves us with Jordan Poole, Davion Mitchell, and RJ Hampton as possible trade candidates. So we'll move at least one of those guys fairly early in the season. And then for now, Poeltl, Mukuamu, and Dumas will also get minutes. I do want to play Bol, but I also want to play our rookies. So for now, I'm going to let the 2 rookie wings play, and Bol won't get any minutes for now. But I would expect that to change fairly early in the season, especially as we make a move with one of those guards. So that's going to end today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.